Hi guys, today I wanted to share a few style mistakes that I've made this past year and talk about the lessons that they taught me. I think it's a really great idea to just look back and reflect at the end of the year, so hopefully this video will inspire you to do the same with your wardrobe. So the first mistake that I regret this year is getting stuck in a style rut. I talk a lot about wardrobe formulas and uniforms on this channel, and while I think it's a really great idea to have a go-to outfit that you always wear, when you wear that over and over again, it starts to feel really boring and uninspiring, and that's kind of what I found happening to me this year. One of my favorite uniforms to wear is like a high-rise bottom, tucked in top with a third layer on top, and I still really love the outfit formula, but I found when I was wearing it over and over again, like I was starting to get really uninspired with my wardrobe, and that really made me want to like shop more and see what's out there and kind of browse on my phone. So while I think again it's really great to have that as a backup on days that you really don't know what to wear, what helped me to get out of this rut is really start experimenting with different style proportions that I haven't really leaned into before. So something that I've really been enjoying wearing lately is like an oversized sweater with some jeans. And before I always like to tuck in my sweaters to make like really flattering proportion where everything's balanced, but now I'm really enjoying the look of like a really slouchy casual style with a more relaxed sweater, and things are not as like stylish, but I think it still looks really good, and it's like a new vibe that I'm infusing into my wardrobe. So if you feel like you're in a style rut this season, I would encourage you to experiment with your wardrobe and maybe style your clothes into outfits that you've never thought of before and see how you feel. And if you've had like a certain style always, maybe try infusing a little bit of a different style and see if that kind of spices things up for you. So for me, what I also did this season is I added a couple of workwear items to my wardrobe, and those items really just infused new life into my wardrobe. And I feel like even though the core of my wardrobe is still very like casual, basic, now I have like a little bit of a different style in there, so I can really mix up my outfits and it feels like a lot more fun and exciting. My next regret this year is just wearing too much loungewear. Of course, we all love things like sweatpants, leggings, joggers. They feel so cozy and comfy, especially when we're at home. But when your life is mostly at home like mine is, that starts to really wear me down and just make me want to do nothing because I'm so cozy, I'm so comfy, I just want to lay on the couch. And I really did lean into that this year, guys. I wore my joggers all the time, especially on days when I wasn't planning on leaving the house. I really felt uninspired to get dressed. I would think like no one's gonna see me today, so who cares? But of course I know that it is important to get dressed because it really just changes the mood. It changes how you feel about yourself. It makes you feel more productive, more inclined to leave the house if you need to. So a lesson that I learned this year is that I really have to put in a little bit of effort to get dressed and enjoy my wardrobe, because if I don't, then I am gonna default to wearing the loungewear, and if I do that for too many days in a row, I just don't like how it makes me feel. And this was a great lesson that I learned recently from my last video where I did a wardrobe experiment and I wore my least worn clothes for a week, and I just learned that the reason why I'm not wearing these clothes is not because I don't like them, it's just because it's easier to just wear the loungewear or the items that I already wear over and over again. So if you guys want to actually enjoy your whole wardrobe, then put in a little bit of effort to get dressed every day, and just makes us feel so much better if we do. And another thing that I noticed is that I have this mindset where I want to save my good clothes for wearing out of the house, and I've talked about this before a lot on this channel too, and I know you guys feel the same way a lot where, you know, if we just bought something, we're like, oh, we need to wear this for when other people see us. But I'm trying to change that mentality. I'm trying to wear the clothes that I bought because I like them, and just wear them for myself because they make me feel good, and it doesn't matter if anybody ends up seeing me that day or not. The next thing that I regret from this year is that I'm still holding on to that mindset of wanting to buy more for less. And I shared this before, but growing up, we didn't have a whole lot of extra money for clothes or for shopping, so I grew up wanting to like buy things on the sale rack, trying to buy things for as cheap as possible. So like, you know, 5 shirts for $20 felt really great. I would shop at H&M and Forever 21, and I always had that mindset of just trying to get as much as I could for the least amount of money. And it's been really hard to shake off that mentality even as I get older and we have more income to spend on things like clothes. And I do think there's something really good there because I do try to live in a more frugal way. We try to budget our money, and I actually don't like to spend too much money on clothes because I'd rather spend my money on other things like saving or investing for the future, you know, boring grown-up stuff. But I found last year that this mentality really tricked me into making some purchases that I regret, and especially things like buying things at a thrift store or secondhand, because when I'm there I think, okay, there's so many good things here at a discount, it's much cheaper than if I was to buy it new, so I allow myself to buy more of it because it feels like I'm getting a great deal, when in reality maybe I don't need all that stuff and just buying like 1 or 2 items would have been enough for me. So the lesson that I'm learning from this and that I'm trying to reinforce into my brain is that less but better is still a better way to go. And I'm learning to be okay with spending a little bit more money on things that I like, and that if something is good quality, that it's okay to spend more money on it and it is worth that amount, and that's fine. I don't need to find it somewhere else cheaper. I don't need to find like a duplicate. And just trying to change my mindset on how much items I think I need to buy, and shopping even slower and more thoughtfully. Another mistake that I regret this year is only buying things for my life right now as a mom. So over the last 2 years, I've had this mindset that I need to buy clothes that are really practical for my life as a stay-at-home mom. I have a very casual life. I have 4 kids, so all my clothes need to be really practical. And that has been a really great shift that I made, because before that, I used to not have any clothes for my home life. I would only be buying things for like a fantasy future, sophisticated life that I wanted to have. So when I realized that, you know, I made myself a goal of buying things that could work for my life at home and also for going out. And while I do think that's a great idea for the majority of my purchases, now I'm realizing that it's okay to buy things for now and a little bit for later when my kids are maybe older. Because I do actually have like a master wish list of items that I want to buy over the next 5 years that are more like sophisticated, a little bit more stylish, maybe a little bit more expensive than what I would wear right now around my kids. And knowing that I have that goal in the future kind of makes my wardrobe feel more exciting, because I know that someday I can wear some of those more fancy things that maybe I can't wear right now, and it's something really fun to look forward to. And for example, this year my mom and my sisters bought me this wool coat that is so beautiful, and I had it on my wish list for a while for the future. And when they ended up buying it for my birthday, it just felt so special to have such a beautiful item. And even though I know I'm not going to be wearing it very often, just knowing that I have that in my wardrobe feels like I'm just building a dream wardrobe that I can look forward to in the future, and that just feels really special. So moving forward, I think I'm going to try to balance my purchases with buying mostly things that are still practical for my life right now, because I do think that's important, but also every year buying like a handful of items that are more special, unique, long-lasting, timeless, that I can see myself wearing 10 years from now, and I'm really excited with that thought. And the last mistake that I regret this year is kind of a recurring theme on here, and that is wearing uncomfortable clothes in the name of style. I did a video like this at the end of last year, I remember, and there was a lot of regrets that I had where I bought a couple of pants that really didn't fit, they hurt, and I would try wearing them just because they were cute, but I learned my lesson and I decluttered them. But this year I still find myself struggling with that a little bit, which I think is pretty normal because, again, body fluctuations, weight fluctuations, and I think the most uncomfortable items that I have in my closet are probably jeans, because let's face it, jeans are not an item that is super comfy. They're kind of rigid, they hold us in, and I really love how that looks. I love how I look in a pair of jeans, which I think we all do, but there's definitely a couple of jeans that I have that are a little bit more tighter on my waist. And while I still love these jeans and I'm not going to be decluttering them, I'm just reminded that there's certain times and occasions that I'm okay with feeling slightly uncomfortable and wearing them just because they look awesome. But for the majority of my life, I want to feel comfortable and stylish at the same time. So I'm reminded time and time again that comfort plus style is still the best combo out there. And There is items out there that fit that bill. And again, with my lifestyle, I'm home most of the time, so I do need my clothes to be comfortable. And surprisingly, I found a handful of jeans that I actually do love to wear at home, and they feel really great. And sometimes that feels like a magical unicorn that we're all looking for. So if you want to see which jeans are my favorite to wear at home, watch this video next, where I share a week of outfits and talk all about that. See you over there.